one of the things I want to show you about pretty interesting with Nvidia is, there are people out there that say that like reading charts is like astrology and there's no predictor value, and those people don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I'll take that.
Yeah, really, totally, man. Well, they're just looking at the wrong stuff. Think about this, right? Let's put on our guru. We're all market guru, former hedge fund trader guys. Right back here, well, we can see this resistance, right? So back here on this day, January 7th, the opening trade was 153.01. On this day here, July 2nd, the opening trade was 152.98. So $150 stock, $4 trillion market cap, trades 200 million shares a day, millions of people all over the world, different strategies, everything from your retail guy with $5,000 to your multi-billion-dollar quantitative high-frequency hedge fund. And somehow we get this amazing preciseness of finding precise levels literally within pennies of each other months and months later. So the high trade here, was that high? 152.85. So that high trade there was within pennies. So it's really an amazing thing. And when we look at trading, we're really not doing finance or accounting or math. What it is psychology, right? It's more like a poker game. It's not like a chess game. And we can see these principles in pretty much any chart we look at, right? Here's resistance. The resistance eventually breaks. And at this point, the buyer, some of the people who sold experience seller's remorse. And they say, if I could get this back at the same price I sold it at, I'm going to. So remorseful sellers placing buy orders can make the level that was resistance convert into a support level. A lot of people ask me when something breaks out, like, how do you know it's a real breakout, or how do you know it's a fake breakout, or a false breakout, or what they used to call a bear trap. And unfortunately, it just takes a little bit of patience. But if you see this conversion of what was resistance converts into support, that tends to set the stage for the next move higher, like it did here and like it did here and like it even did here, right? The resistance became support. So pretty wild stuff. But I think that people take this stuff for granted because most people that do it are, what my experience has been, that most people that do look at charts, they really don't know what to look for. They look for patterns, but they don't really understand like what the pattern means. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Here are two classic, what we would call bearish engulfing patterns, which are, as you can tell by the name, bearish. So this would be one, this would be another. Let's just think about what this is showing us. Who cares about the name, right? You're not going to no one's going to pay you money to give you, if you can name it. But if you can understand the dynamics, that's going to help your trading. So the blue team is in charge here, right? Blue team's pushing the ball up the field. And on this particular day, you would have said, gee, it's going to be another up day. In the morning, the opening price was higher than the prior day's close. But what happened by the close of this day? The sellers overpower the buyers and push it all the way back down. So most volume trades on the open and the close. So there was some support there from the prior day, but the sellers just blew right through it. And that showed you that the trend was changing. Same thing happens here. On this particular day, you would have thought, gee, it's going to be another up day in the morning. The opening price was higher than the prior day's close. But by the close, what happened? The sellers pushed it all the way back down, and that showed you that the sellers just took control. So it's not about knowing the names of the patterns. It's about just understanding why the patterns form. And when you can do that, that's when it can really help your trading.